Aliens with giant afros and Paris burlesque houses? What doesn't this show have? Let's get started. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Hello, Lovecraftians. Welcome to Thumb Together TV. My name is Andrew Fantasia, and today we're going to be talking about Lovecraft Country, Episode 7, I Am Together. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and give some love to that subscribe button as well. So, I Am is crazy. Let's just go ahead and use that word because it fits. This week we focused on Hippolyta, which is cool because we haven't focused on her yet, and the actress who plays her is such an elegant, beautiful woman and a great actress, and it's so nice to finally see them shed some light on her and this character that's been just quietly doing stuff behind the scenes. Every now and then we've just been cutting back to Hippolyta sitting in their apartment and she's just checking out this orrery and trying to figure out how it works. Well, now she knows how it works. She has figured out the secrets of Hiram's orrery and it has led her to a location, and that location has another orrery, kind of, but it's a computer. And she uses that to open up a portal into space and time and get sucked into another dimension. Because, of course, who wouldn't? And the rest of the episode is just this very trippy adventure that she goes on, hopping through different iterations of herself in order to discover, what she's missing in her life, what it is that's making her so angry. And we do find out, and it's a beautiful moment, and it is my favorite moment of the episode. But to get there, you gotta go through some paces, and by paces, I mean Lovecraftian sci-fi. Buckle up. I wish I could find more images of this online to show you because it is just too visual for me to put into words. But essentially, Hippolyta ends up on an alien world with some weird thing in the sky, and then these aliens come and knock her out, and she wakes up in a white room where this giant woman with an even more giant afro appears and says, "I am," and then asks Hippolyta who she is. This leads to her embarking on some kind of cosmic odyssey where first she's dancing on stage with Josephine Baker in Paris, and then she's part of some tribe of mighty women warriors who, from the looks of things, are fighting in the American Civil War. And then finally, her and Uncle George are astronauts with the classic 1950s bubble helmets, which I love so damn much. Oh my god, please bring back bubble helmets. Make that a thing. Where now Hippolyta looks like the blue-haired comic book character that her daughter creates, and she's floating around in space looking utterly at peace, and the giant Afro I Am goddess lady now says, okay, you can either come be a cosmic person like me, I guess, or you can go back to your world. And it sounds like Hippolyta chose to go back to her world, but we don't see a resolution of that, so I feel like they left that ambiguous. And we end the episode with Atticus rushing from the scene where the computer thingy was, where he and Hippolyta killed these two cops who were accosting them, and we see that the police have brought backup, and they are about to find the front page of the comic that Hippolyta's daughter made with her name right there on it. Which means it's only a matter of time before the police catch wind of what's going on, and all of a sudden they're knocking on Hippolyta's door with handcuffs and zero reason. As happy as I am to finally get an episode about Hippolyta, this is definitely not my favorite episode of Lovecraft Country, and that's just a personal preference based on the way I like to digest storytelling. There is a Lovecraft story, one of his most famous ones, and I think one of his longer ones, called The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath. And The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath is this very loosely narrative, barely narrative, more stream of consciousness kind of piece. It's really hard to describe, and I didn't like it at all because it really just felt like nothing. It felt like 60 pages of very beautiful imagery. The words conveyed imagery, but it didn't tell me a story, and I didn't learn or take away anything from it. It was just stuff with no purpose. And that's how this felt to me until we get to that scene, which I really love, where Hippolyta wakes up in bed with George and they have that conversation where she says exactly what's been bothering her, and she comes to that epiphany of, this is who I am Hippolyta the discoverer, and I have been shrunk by this domestic life I've been thrown into. And it's just a very simple conversation between her and her husband, and it's beautiful and it's real, and it was great to see Uncle George again because I loved Uncle George so much. So these two characters shined so much in this scene that it made it all worthwhile. Because other than that, it was very, Dream Quest of Unknown Kadathi. It was very, here's stuff, here's more stuff. Ooh, look at all this stuff. Look at this big weird room she's in. Isn't that crazy stuff? What does it mean? We don't know. Stuff! And a lot of Lovecraft's writings are like that, and I'm not a fan of that. So I was worried that this whole episode was just going to be like, ooh, look how trippy we are. Lovecraft. But it finally gave us that moment where it's like, okay, this is what we're trying to say, and we're saying it beautifully. So yes, great job, show. You got to that point. It took a while, but you got to it. And I'm happy because you showed me 1950s looking sci-fi costumes complete with bubble helmets. I can't tell you how happy that made me. What does this mean for the overall plot of the show? Damned if I can tell you. If I had to guess, it would be that Hippolyta is now going to be able to help Atticus and Letitia in their quest. Because this whole episode, when we see Atticus and Letitia, which was just usually in the beginning, they spent it just kind of wandering around trying to get help and answers from people and coming up short with everybody because nobody wanted to talk to them. And coming up short with everybody because nobody wanted to talk to them. They went to Montrose, they went to Hippolyta, and they went to Ruby, and they got kind of scoffed at and turned away by all three of them. Atticus and Letitia have been very much alone in this journey they've been on, especially since Uncle George died. Well, now, I theorize that that's not going to be the case anymore. I think Hippolyta is going to be the ace up their sleeve. She's going to join them, and she's the key to it all, because I'm pretty sure she has the Freeman blood in her. I think Atticus is related to her. She's his aunt, and George was just his uncle through marriage. That's where I believe we're going. She's going to use her Freeman powers to help out. She's going to be the hero of the story. She's going to aid Atticus and Letitia, and it's all going to work out wonderfully, and everybody's going to live happily ever after. That's what I like to see. I expected Gia to show up stateside. I don't know if that's still going to happen, but we've only got 3 episodes left, Jamie Chung. Clock is ticking, lady. Anyway, that has been I'm Andrew Fantasia. Thank you so much for tuning in on Thumb Together TV. I will see you here next week, and until then, adios.